there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with match number 2 with the Abzan Flicker. Yes, we like to play first. This is a decent hand. We do have a Fiend Hunter, double Fiend Hunter, Wasteland Strangler, Flickerwisp. No way to flash anything in, but the Fiend Hunter Wasteland Strangler combo is definitely acceptable. We'll go ahead and keep this. And to start off with a Temple Garden into play tap, pass the turn. And a Swamp. See if we're going up against Eldrazi here. See if we get Thought Seized. Yeah, Thought Seized will take care of probably... I'm not quite sure which one he takes. Maybe just a Fiend Hunter or Flickerwisp. I think the Wasteland Strangler is probably the weakest card in our hand against a Eldrazi deck. Of course, this could be any other black deck, but the popular deck running a first turn Swamp Thoughtseize is definitely going to be the Eldrazi deck. We have the Fulminator Mages in the sideboard, which are very good against this deck, taking out Ivugans and Eldrazi Temples. And he actually does take the Wasteland Strangler. That's surprising. Alright, so we will drop a Plains and just pass the turn. And we need to draw into like Collected Companies, Eternal Witnesses, things of that sort, just to get card advantage versus our opponent. So Bloodghast. Okay, so Bloodghast is something we can easily Fiend Hunter. So don't know what we're going up against. Probably some sort of Smallpox type build. They use a lot of Bloodghast. So I'm going to drop a Plains, and we will just Fiend Hunter it. And then pass the turn. So the Gatekeeper of Malachor, which will eat the Fiend Hunter, which will give back the Bloodghast. And I think at this point, I'm just gonna put into play tapped an Overgrown Tomb, and we'll Fiend Hunter again. And this time we'll take the Gatekeeper of Malachor. I think it's probably the weaker card here, or the stronger card. Alright, and we'll just pass the turn. And he can attack into the Fiend Hunter with the Bloodghast. Could be another Gatekeeper Malachor. Vampire Nighthawk. So some sort of mono black vampires is what this deck is going to be. Haven't seen a deck like this, well, basically ever on Modern. We do need to find the Collected Companies and Eternal Witnesses again and just start outvaluing. Here's a Eternal Witness. I think Gavony Township is okay. I think Windswept for another source is fine, though. So we'll just Eternal Witness. And this time we'll get a Wasteland Strangler back from the yard. And then that can kill a Vampire Nighthawk. So I'm assuming there's going to be cards like the Vampire Nocturnus in the deck, or similar decks to pump up the tribal theme of vampires. We'll have to wait and see exactly what that'll entail. But so far, so good. I'm not too worried about just a Vampire Nighthawk or a Bloodghast. And we'll have a way to flicker in a Flickerwisp to get back an Eternal Witness. Yep, so just taking the 2 from the Nighthawk. And this could be a Phyrexian Obliterator, which we can Flickerwisp the Fiend Hunter as well to take care of it. And we can do both of these on the same turn. So it's going to be a mono black devotion list with the Bloodghast, Vampire Nighthawks, Gatekeeper Malakir's, Phyrexian Obliterator, and I'm assuming Grey Merchant of Asphodel is going to be in the list. So go ahead and just grab we need another black source, so Godless Shrine, sure. And then next turn we can double. There's a Collected Company too, which is lovely. So we will use a Wasteland Strangler. Give him back the Gatekeeper of Malakir. This is underneath the Fiend Hunter. Oh, I tapped my lands wrong. I just messed up. Use both of my white sources. Yeah, I messed up big time there. Hopefully I just don't get beat out by a Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Oh, jeez. So I knew I had the white sources for it. Just tapped very incorrectly. And then, yeah, we'll just pass the turn here. So if he drops a land in a Grey Merchant, we're taking a ton of any... Actually, now with the Nightthose Shrine of Nyx, that 6 additional mana he can make... Oh, that misplay is going to definitely bite me. So here's a Grey Merchant, maybe a Thoughtseize can now take the Flickerwisp, which would not exist in my hand. I actually don't know which one he takes here. He might just take the Collected Company. Yeah, it's more powerful. We can actually get that back with flickering the Eternal Witness instead of if we care too much about the Phyrexian Obliterator. But I'm quite certain that a Grey Merchant of Asphodel is going to come down, and that's going to generate a lot of damage, 7 damage, or 8 damage actually, and then 5 damage from the Phyrexian Obliterator. Oh, okay, just another Bloodghast. That's a lot easier to deal with. Oh, now a Grey Merchant. Okay, well. We're at the mercy of top decks now. We can deal with the... Uh-oh. Yeah, the damage here, I might just need a Wasteland Strangler on a Bloodghast. So a Fiend Hunter for sure will kill one, and a Wasteland Strangler will kill one. I think that's fine. So I don't see myself Flickerwisping back anything. We'll go down to a 2. Yeah, that was basically 15 damage that we didn't need to take. There's another Collected Company. I don't feel safe actually casting the Collected Company. I think we just have to hope he top decks into. And I think this just the safe route we have to do is just Flickerwisp on the Fiend Hunter and get rid of the Phyrexian Obliterator. Now, if it is a land, he gets the Bloodghast back. If it's just another Grey Merchant of Asphodel, we just lose the game. If it's even a Thoughtseize, that's rough. Now I feel very far ahead. I don't like this Razorverge Thicket, of course. I don't believe we'll just play the Razorverge Thicket and pass the turn. Yeah, we'll pass the turn here. And then we have a Collected Company, but this is, again, not looking too hot for us. I don't trust putting out a Flickerwisp because we could just miss to a land. I think that the card he most likely drew is a Nightthose Shrine of Nyx. It's going to be a Vampire Nighthawk. Because any other card, I would expect he would have played it last turn, but probably not just willing to sacrifice the Godless Shrine just for 2 Bloodghast to come into play. So in a turn here, we can collect a company, which can find an Eternal Witness and a Wasteland Strangler, which is huge. And then throw all these. Kill the Vampire Nighthawk. Get back a collective company. Yes, use the Eternal Witness ability. And throw the Phyrexian Obliterator in the bin. And that was a very successful company. A Tidehollow Sculler, I'm reasonably sure it's just a Godless Shrine of Nyx. I guess we can just check it out with the Tidehollow Sculler. Could be some creature removal. Let's see if I'm correct with the Godless Shrine of Nyx. A swamp, okay. I'm surprised he didn't just play that, though, for the Bloodghast. And then I think I will attack him now with the Flickerwisp. Need to start getting him down. We have to avoid another Grey Merchant of Asphodel. That's the one card that just kills us. He'll play the Bloodghast. Which brings him back into play. And he's attacking with both of them. I think so. We could block and then just Gavony Township. That adds quite a bit of damage on the following turn. But I still think Collected Company is better. So we'll block here and just block with a Tidehollow Sculler. And I still think we don't even... Yeah, I don't think we need to pump these up or Collected Company quite yet. And we'll Collective Company here. The card is just broken in this deck. We'll be able to get back the Stonecloaker and a Flickerwisp. And actually exile. So we'll return a creature to our hand and exile a Bloodghast. And then flicker this Eternal Witness. To get back another Collected Company. And just a ton of value here. And we won't get that back to the next end step, I believe. Yeah, I should have done that beforehand. And return this Eternal Witness. I don't think casting Eternal Witness is fine for a Collected Company. And then, once again, just attacking with the Flickerwisps. Is fine. And let's just hope to avoid that Grey Merchant. So again, I'm just going to grab another Collected Company Shore. Just in case we get one of them Thought Seized out. So I can still... It is another... We have to hit perfectly here. We have to hit 2 Fiend Hunters. Or Flickerwisps. So we hit a Flickerwisp and a Stonecloaker will work. Oh wait, just return it to my hand. Yeah, so this will not work. So we do run in that other Grey Merchant. I've known to blend it myself here though. Because this control, enters battle of a creature you control. We can flicker one of his Grey Merchants and still take the damage. Just gonna go on to the next game here. I totally lost this game. That was my fault. But I think that we have a great matchup versus this, so shouldn't be that difficult. We're not going to bring in like Path. I think Path to Exiles are actually okay in this, but like Kitchen Finks I think are very hard for him to deal with. I'm not quite certain about Qasali Pridemages. I like Scavenging Oozes too here. I don't think that we quite need the Birds of Paradise to... Even the Fiend Hunter does seem weaker, or the Wasteland Strangler doesn't kill enough cards. It does kill his Vampire Nighthawks, so I do want a few of them. The Tidehollow Sculler, yeah, I can get rid of plenty of things. Cartel Aristocrat does seem very powerful. Vials, but I do want both the Kitchen Finks, I believe, and, well, maybe Kitchen Finks aren't necessarily needed as much. I'm going to bring in 1 Scavenging Ooze. I like the Stonecloakers, and we'll keep some amount of Birds of Paradise. Again, ramping I don't think is quite what we need. And Cloudshift does seem decent. Being able to Cloudshift something in response. Cartel Aristocrats are still fine. Collective Companies, Digital Witness, of course, are fine. I'm going to take out 1 Wasteland Strangler. And we'll submit this. Alright, so yes, we'd like to play first. We can keep this hand, absolutely. First turn Thoughtseize is very good against this, but we do have a Tidehollow Sculler to ruin what he's trying to do. And we have that. We can follow that up with the Wasteland Strangler. So definitely liking my hand. Fiend Hunter is also very good against a devotion-based deck. Well, Leyline's really good. Did not bring in a Qasali Pridemage. But the Leyline does not affect his side of the board either. So I think here we'll just grab an Overgrown Tomb and pass. Probably should have actually got a White Source. That was, yeah. So we'll get a White Source with this Windswept. And Bajoka Bog is also more hate. But the Gavony Township, something, even with the Collected Company, that's a lot of potential. So here we'll get, here is just a basic Forest is fine, or basic Plains is fine, or a Godless Shrine. I think Godless Shrine's okay. And we'll Tidehollow Sculler. And a Bloodghast, Gatekeeper Malachor. I think we just take care of the Gatekeeper Malachor. We don't have to worry about surgical attractions. He brought in a ton of hate versus us. He has no lands though, so it's a ways before he can cast any of these cards. I still think Malachor's the more difficult card for us to deal with. And we will pass the turn. If he throws a Bloodghast, we'll Wasteland Strangler it. And just try to out-aggro him. But no lands in his hand. He'd have to top deck into a land here. He did. It's not the greatest land, though. He does have the ability to have the 2 Devotion already out on board, but he can't cast a Bloodghast here. So we're still in great shape. Unfortunately, the Fiend Hunter is not an option. We need another White Source. And it's going to be a Cartel Aristocrat for sure. So we'll go ahead and attack in with the Tidehollow Sculler. And hopefully it doesn't top deck into two lands right in a row. But we do have action if he does put out a Vampire Nighthawk. We'll kill it. And then do 4 damage to him. He does not, so we are definitely in the driver's seat here. Stonecloaker's great. We'll go ahead and attack him with both. Most likely flash in a Stonecloaker and end a turn. And return back. Maybe the Tidehollow. Take another peek at his hand. I'm not even quite sure if we want to throw out the Stonecloaker or not. Down to a 14. Yeah, we won't even flash it in because I probably want to get back the... Or not give him a Gatekeeper. He can't cast a Gatekeeper, though, still. But we do want the Gatekeeper actually underneath the Wasteland Strangler, so absolutely not. If we Stonecloaker anything, I think we bring back the Cartel Aristocrat, and I'm not sure if that's worth it just to upgrade from a 2 power to a 3. All right, so he does cast a Vampire Nighthawk, which this turn we will just strangle it. Even if we draw a land here, we'll Wasteland Strangler. Give him back the Gatekeeper. And attacking with both. Get him down to a 10. And once again, see if we can avoid. We do know he's got a Bloodghast. I don't know if he has... Been very lucky drawing into these lands. He's drawn 3 lands when we have not drawn a land in the past turns. We do need that last collected company. Thoughtseizes are not something he wants to be doing. I think he just casts a Bloodghast here, but he's got a Lily on the Veil. If he has a sack a creature, we will just sack the Tidehollow Sculler. He might have us both discard a card. I think I might need to keep him off Devotion and hit his Liliana with the Cartel Aristocrat. Flickerwisp, another card I cannot cast. We will cast the Birds of Paradise, so I think that's the smart move still, is to do 2 at Liliana, 1 at him, or 3 at him. Cast the Birds of Paradise, just call that good. And then pass a turn. Down to a 7. We actually have, if we draw into a land, it's lethal with the Gavony Township. So if he tries to cast like double Bloodghast, we should be good. So Messenger, yet Messenger does not protect him. It just does 2 damage. Let's hope that we can find that mana. We do. Of course, it's the Razorverge Thicket. I'm not sure we can do anything that can progress. We do want to shut down his Night's Shrine to Nyx, though, so I'm just going to do it right now for Collective Company. And finds a Cartel Aristocrat and a Tidehollow Sculler. And we can get rid of, I guess, just a Phyrexian Obliterator. Not that big of a deal. And could have actually sacked the Tidehollow Sculler in response, but I at this point I don't care. I think we have plenty of aggression. And this one should go down quite soon. There we go. Alrighty, so Sideboard will bring in the Qasali Pridemages. I don't know if we care about our graveyard. He brings in so much hate. Pridemage can get rid of the Leyline of the Void. If he's going to go that route with... If he even kill Night's Shrine to Nyx with Fulminator Mages, that's always a fun route to go. Path Exiles do work against his Undying shenanigans. But Scavenging Ooze does a good job of doing that, plus gaining us life. And I think it's just better than our Kitchen Finks. I'm not sure we need to play that route. And I think we can bring in one Qasali Pridemage just for more shenanigans. Or I might actually just need the Birds of Paradise. I think that ramping up is pretty smart with this deck. So what other cards did he have that we would have to really worry about with Qasali Pridemage? And I'm not thinking of too much. I think the main deck is just fine here. Again, another Wasteland Strangler kills really just the Vampire Nighthawk. Maybe just a 2 of and then go full package of birds is the right route. I want to do that to see if we can be more explosive here. And we'll submit this. He's a very heavy creature-based deck, which I think that the Scavenging Ooze... Yeah, so here's where a birds is pretty nice here. We have a Scavenging Ooze, a birds, a Tidehollow Sculler. We do need a Collective Company. Birds also gives us a little bit of padding against the sacrifice. And he does have a Leyline of the Void that he starts in play again, which is annoying for our deck to deal with, but I'm glad I got rid of the Kitchen Finks. If he has a Thoughtseize here, I mean, he really runs out of a lot of... The problem with Inquisition or Thoughtseize here is he runs out of a lot of potential aggression, which I think he needs to do. Because now we get to hit his hand with the Tidehollow Sculler. He might just take the Birds of Paradise. Like, there's no real good card to get rid of. Maybe the Scavenging Ooze, depending if he's a heavy Bloodghast hand or a heavy Messenger hand. Eternal Witness is completely shut down at this point, though. That is very annoying. He takes the Bird. I think Bird is actually one of the weaker cards, unless he can try to figure out to out-aggro me. We'll start with just the Razorverge Thicket, or just the Overgrown Tomb and play tapped, I think is fine, and pass the turn. A lot of ways to deal with this Obliterator. There's a Bloodghast, which will be decent, but I think we go, where were you first turn? We do go the Tidehollow and eat a card out of his hand, which is going to be the Bile Blight. So he's got a Messenger and a Messenger and a Phyrexian Obliterator in his hand, and one Unknown, which you can't cast either one of them. I don't think we need to Flickerwisp at all. Of course, we can Sculler again, which I do think is the more powerful card here. I'm just going to get a basic Plains here. And we'll go again with the Tidehollow Sculler. And yeah, we'll take the Phyrexian Obliterator. And then Aether Vial. And attack in with the Tidehollow. Now I can actually give him back his Phyrexian Obliterator. And then block his Tidehollow Sculler. If he drops a land this turn, I might do that. Alright, so he's dropped his land. If he attacks in his Bloodghast. Do I care about him having a Phyrexian Obliterator? Yeah, I do. So we'll let this just go through. And then put some counters on our Vial. That's actually not the greatest card right now. Vials are so good on the first turn. The Gavony Township is beautiful, though. And we can Birds of Paradise. We can Scavenging Ooze. I guess I could have flick. I could actually just Vial that in. Still 2 turns away from the Grey Merchant. We're just going to go on the Gavony Township route. Messenger is aggressive, but it's not going to do quite enough, especially with the ability to exile it with the Flickerwisp. So he gets in here with the Bloodghast for 2. And he's still away from that Grey Merchant, though, so I think we can out-aggro him before he can actually take us down. Depending if he can draw enough like Messengers. Our Vial will be up to 3 for our Flickerwisp soon. And we can actually Tidehollow Sculler now. So just going to go ahead and activate Gavony Township. We'll actually Vial first. And eat away his hand again. Here we'll definitely take the Grey Merchant. And then attack in. And he's staring down lethal next turn. So the Tidehollow Sculler really did its job, and that is game. So we pulled that one off even without the massive misplays there. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.